There's no schmaltz like spiritual schmaltz. When you first start waking up spiritually, as it were, very loaded way to say things, and that, say, spiritual awakening isn't really the same thing as non-dual awakening. To define terms, I'd say spiritual awakening. I don't really know what to call it. I mean, you could say it's kind of third eye, kind of cracking open a bit. You start to realize that there's way more to reality than what we're told. And that's 100% true. It never got weird enough for me. But I keep that to myself. Psychic phenomena, ubiquitous. Dreams that predict the future. Gods, spirits. All real. And a lot of people either always were aware of these things or start becoming aware of these things, and it's just amazing. And there's an impulse to orient towards these things and almost worship these things. This is how it's always been, and this is how it will always be. Back in the day, there was Yahweh, and you read about Yahweh and all the things he does, and you think, is this a god or is this a demon? But people worship because of the power there, perceived power there. It's like people can't even help themselves. Totally understandable. And in 2025, I know plenty of people who have woken up to amazing experiences and the power of these non-physical beings. And there's that same impulse to worship, to orient one's life toward, and a subtle or not so subtle feeling of superiority of us and them around that. We who understand and they who don't. The priestly class and the muggles. I spent a lot of years in the plant medicine world, so I'm very familiar with this dynamic. I've seen people be in this world and continue to be in this world, and from an outsider perspective, it just seems that they just get more and more pretentious, more and more weighed down by pretensions, more and more us and them. And I'm painting with a broad brush here, obviously, but I have weird feels around it. It really never seems to end well. How could it? Pretensions always get blown apart. That's what they do. And they're too rigid to edifices crumble. That's what they do. I've seen it in the plant medicine world. I've seen it in various religious communities. The tighter the hold on beliefs, the more imbalance is introduced over time. The more lies you have to tell yourself to maintain. Because the fact is everything's always changing. There's no more God in the capital G way in a statue of Buddha than there is in a turd on the sidewalk. Such distinctions are maintained by the mind. One of the first suttas I find it's very overlooked, but it's one of my favorites. I forget how it goes exactly, but it's something like, you think this is a tree, but this isn't a tree. You think this is a god, but it isn't a god. And then he goes through and lists different levels of gods. You think this is gods of fulsome righteousness, something like that. It's some distinction, some hierarchy of gods that they had at the time, but they're not. Everything is dependently originated.